Quick reminder, everyone, this talk is intended for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors. Per usual, I wanted to recap SPY here, just kind of talk about where we have been. The blue highlight, this daily candle on September 21st, represents our last meeting. And so what you can see here is, we've put in some volatile moves. Last few days have seen greater than a 1% move, but as far as the actual index movement, we're pretty much unchanged, right in that same area. It sounds like energy has been kind of bolstering things here. QQQ showing a different story. I'll let Mario handle that. But as far as the levels, pretty much the same. I've not adjusted any of the levels here on the chart from our last session. What we've got is this support zone, the 429, 430 area. That is from that September 20th low. So that is going to continue to be a key reference point. Like you've heard us mention in chat, I did want to bring this up really quick is, just because a stock flips below a level does not mean it is broken. It's best to think about these things in terms of supply and demand zone. So if it breaks by 1 cent, it does not necessarily mean you should be shorting. These are reference points that we want to be watching just for future moves and reactions at that level. So we've got the 429, 430 area. Above that, it may be kind of hard to see here, but the yellow moving average, that is the 100 MA, otherwise known as the weekly 20. And that's sitting right around that 435, 434 area. So that is kind of going to be another solid reference point to work with. Looking above that, we kind of have the range high here that we have been working this wide range, which I posted about in the pre-market notes, 437 to 427, about a 10-point range here in SPY. So this is going to be your range high location. If we start to break that, you'll want to be looking at the 440 area. If we start trading above 440, things, in my opinion, are going to be looking much better to the bullish side. Now, as far as moving forward, kind of what I'm looking for here in SPY corresponds with seasonality. As I've been posting about repeatedly, we are in one of the most volatile periods for seasonality. You can see here, this is from Goldman. They're highlighting that October has the highest monthly realized vol. And so what that is looking at is just historical analogs, variation in prices over certain timeframes. Of course, this is over the monthly timeframe. So for the month of October, this is the most volatile period. Now, that generally tends to be in the first 2 weeks of October. So to kind of tie that into the chart, if we are going to continue to follow the seasonality piece that we usually see here into year end, what I'm looking for in the indexes is to mark kind of a low somewhere in this zone, right? And then start the ramp higher into year end. Just kind of thinking, trying to stay open-minded here about what the next 2-3 months look like into early January. And so that is kind of what I'm watching here for in terms of swings and overnight exposure. I'm not rushing anything with those overnight plays. As far as day trades, it's a totally different story. We kind of take these things day by day. But yeah, just for swing exposure, that's what I'm looking for. Mario, I'll go ahead and let you take it over here for QQQ and the rest of the charts. You've got a host?
I do. Screen number 2. Share and take it back, please.
Yes, sir.
Let me do the chat. Okay, so glad to be back. Can't wait till tomorrow. So let's see where we are. So I was doing a lot of charting this day. I mean, like the last couple of hours is checking what I missed. It looked like, as Kyle pointed out, the problem was with tech. You guys know I follow mostly the Qs. So this is the chart of SPY. Notice where SPY is based on my charts. We're still over the point of control, still over the 200, right at 50 MA. That's close enough. So this is the, I assume this will coincide with the levels that Kyle was talking about, right? The range that we are now. When we come and take a look at the Qs, what we're going to see is a little bit different, right? We are under the daily point of control, which is a big reference level for me. And we see all of the volume that we have right here. So once we started breaking this level, right, I started getting more and more bearish. We started talking about these bearishness on this. I think this was this hangout on 9/7, and we started looking for a possible distribution right around the top. We call it around the top of distribution. So when we come and analyze again, because this is what we do, guys, this is all we can do. Just check the charts and try to see what's going on. So you come in here, you see that we base, right? This should be a pullback. So we should be making new highs. We did make the new highs. The problem we started seeing was all of these distribution days. You can see it right here. This is my average, right? Average volume is 5. So every time you see above average volume, you got to notice what color it is, right? So when I see red and then another red, then another red, and the action is not going anywhere, all I can think is like these guys distributing, right? These guys are just dumping stock on us on retail. You know, when I say us, it's retail. We are retail, all of us. So this is distribution right here. This is another more distribution, and then we finally broke, right? This is a key level, 375 that we have. So normal. They gap it down, right? And we have a little rally, right? This is a rally. This is not a pullback that you buy most of the times. Why? Because when you're coming from a distribution zone, what usually happens is this: if this is a breakdown, a true breakdown, we should usually go and test. So this is actually another place to get short. So you should be shorting in here, and then that's when the new trade starts, right? The next confirmation of this trade that we're still talking about here is you should be making a significant new low. So of course, you're gonna, in order to make a significant new low, you got to test the prior low. And what happened that day is that we tested like for 2, 3, 4 days, and we finally broke yesterday. How or why are we calling that a real break? Notice the volume right here. Notice the volume compared to the last 4 days. So it was on big volume. So that was another big distribution day, right? What's usually what happened after that? We have a consolidation day, a tight day, or they try to run it back up. Look what they did this morning, or I don't know if it was in the morning. I know, yeah, probably the morning they just put this big rally, but you see, we couldn't clear the 360, not 362 level, right? So if you see my 60-minute chart, those of you that follow my calls and know how I trade, you know, this is my place to get short actually, right? So we come in, gapping down, now we go sideways, we get the big move down, and then it's just a rally. So you can play the rally if you trade the range, but this is a place to go short. So from here, what I'm looking for is I want to see the bigger picture. Let's see where we are with the Qs, and I'm taking my time right here because this is a point where we got to make decisions right here, right? So here's where we are as long as the weekly chart, right? We come in, we were at 2 standard deviations right here, right, with the Bollinger Band. So we are somewhat extended based on that. Then we have the bearish engulfing right here. Was not big, was not huge. Second one was the following week. We have the trigger to the short side, and target 1, if you're trading the short, right? This is what people do. There's strategies that call for this. You go from Bollinger Band, you take the short on the red candle signal, and your target 1 is a 20 MA. So we hit it yesterday, right? We hit it last week, and then we should start to see some bullishness if this is going to be by the pullback type of scenario, right? But if we look at the chart and we see how this has been going on, look at how many weeks usually takes. It's like 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4, 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4, right? So this is early. I was checking the put call ratio also, and it's not like I posted, like I think it was like 10 days ago. We're not bearish enough in here. Like people are not betting enough on the put side. So the put call ratio is still not high enough for us to find a bottom. So we still have room to go down, right? Anyways, this will be the setup that I'll be looking towards the end of the week. So we're thinking probably Thursday, Friday, we start looking and see how this hammer is going to be looking, right? The thing is seasonality, put together what Kyle was talking about. We know it's going to be a couple hard weeks coming, probably this one and next one too. So I won't be too aggressive as far as the swing portion of trades or initiating trades. It's going to probably give us like a couple weeks to get long on those that we really want to get long, right? Let's look at the monthly. This is where we are. So setting up, but I think that the weekly chart is the one that we want to be looking mostly, right? So the call for the QQQs is going to be a buy. We're going to be looking at a weekly buy. Our key level is going to be the 360. I'm just guessing that's going to be the level, right? But it's going to be probably 360, 362. The real confirmation to the bullish side is going to be over 370, right? However, most likely we're going to get a trigger before, right? Because once I start seeing this index over 365, 366, I'll probably start getting ahead, a little bit ahead with a small risk under the point of control. So that's the way I'm planning on trading it. So I'm planning on trading this weekly buy with an entry on a daily buy, on a daily chart with the point of control, right? The 366. So I got two plays right there that we need to follow. The buy on a weekly chart, the key level will be 360. Over 362, we can start getting into it. Also, we have a range. It's a tradable range between 350, we have it right here, and 365, right? So if we start seeing any kind of action holding around the 350, we can trade 350 for 365. I'm calling it a tradable range because it's 15 points. So that's a 5% move that we have right here. And we were able to trade it here. We were able to trade it right here. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to trade it on this side. So just figure, and I hope you guys seeing this clear, like the 350, 365 is one level, and then we move into the weekly chart and we start seeing how we develop. Okay, so those are the two main trades. As far as for tomorrow, because yesterday we have a big move, right? So we have enough space, enough volume right here to get to put it on my watch list for the next couple of days. So what today happened is I'm going to be using both of the levels. So I'm going to be using the 360 and the 350 for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So here's a momentum trade reversal. If we go with 362 right here, 362, I'm going to try to take it for 365 target one, which is here, and then for the close of the gap, so 370. So you guys have a weekly chart that we can trade over the next 2 weeks, a big tradable range that we can probably trade for the next week. And then we have a momentum trade that we might be able to trade it tomorrow. We don't know where it's going to open. We may open at 350, so we trade it short. But if we start going over 362, we can go 362, 365, 370. So that's basically what the Qs are doing. So let's check on the main names on the Qs and see if they're giving us any new information. So for Apple, we have the same range. It's going to be the same call as last time. So we're going to keep it watching it between a tradable range between 141 and 151. So this is basically where we stand, and that's the place, right? We call it last time was 141 to 151. It happens once, and let's watch it for tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. We need an entry around this area. Now, what I want to be very careful with Apple is you start seeing this big, like this is volume right here. We can see all the volume here, and we don't have really big volume until we hit the 134 area, right? This one may give us it's pretty much saying 135.25. So any shorts can be taken 138, 135 target one, right? The main idea that I want to develop is trying to work this 141 and see how we hold into 145. If we start having a bad market and we are at 145 and start dropping, then we go 145 all the way to 135. So that's the same range for Apple. I'm going to call it a tradable range. Keep that in mind. Same idea. I think it's going to be holding for Amazon. For Amazon, we have a tradable range too between 3,200, which is this base, I'm sorry, this support, you can see the pivot right here. You can see pivot right here. So we can see pivots right here. So it's 3,100, 3,200 right here. We try to break yesterday, didn't. Kyle made the point again that we don't trade it. This is not a glass door that you just touch it and break it and it's broken forever, right? You can always come back and trap a lot of people right here. So Amazon, I think, is safer to play it as a range with 3,200, right, give or take, and 3,550, which will put us right here at the point of control. So 32, 3,550, I think is the same call that we have last time, right? We're going to be looking at 3,290. Once we start going over the 200 MA, I want to see it probably over point of control even better, right? One over 3,350. That could put us into a weekly buy. So I'm going to show you the weekly, right? So although this is a range, we have the big move up and this is sideways. So now what we're inside a range. I could use this candle if we're like probably Thursday or Friday. So we can probably do a weekly buy right here with an entry. What do I say? 3,290 is right. 3,284. We don't know what's going to be the high for the week, but 3,290 should take us all the way for, I'll say 35 in here. We should be able to, if we got a good move. So we will be on this trading this little range, right? This will be a hammer entry, and we go all the way here, right? That's the weekly. That's what we go through all of the charts. Right in here, you don't see it, right? If you go to the weekly chart, you see it. Now, you might be asking, like, why don't you just do the 1, 2, 3? Well, that's pretty simple. Just put an alert on the prior day low, right? And once we start breaking prior day low, if you're a momentum trader, you can absolutely take. So this is a momentum watch to the short. On the 3173, your target one is 3,100. So for short-term scalps and everything, this is absolutely a momentum short. Just make sure stock is in play, market is with you, that we don't have a rally of 500, 600 points and you try to short Amazon right at the lows. So get your entry, get your right entry. You have the setup 1, 2, 3, you get the trigger, you trade it, and target one is 30.57. Okay, so that's what I have for Amazon. I think should be watched, especially because of those setups that we haven't, right? So now we go to Facebook. It's been all over the news. This one I'm going to use a couple. Actually, I was just documenting this one for you guys. So this is what I'm sharing with you guys, right? So we got to pay attention to these big market tells, right? Because yesterday everybody's talking about Facebook and everybody's talking about the whistleblower and the problem that, society and all that stuff, that they're coming into that. So what is surprising is that a lot of people missed what the chart was telling us, right? So this didn't happen. I mean, yeah, Facebook went down yesterday because they lost, I don't know, the servers. They were down for 6 hours. But look where we're coming from. We're looking for 390 probably, 390 to 300 almost. So it was that 90 points on a 300 or 400. So we're down like 25%, 25%. And look at the chart. Exactly what I show you on the Qs, even more pronounced. If that's a very adjective to put it, right? We are at the 2 standard deviations with 1, 2, topping tails right here, couldn't make a new high on the following week. And then we had the big bear engulfing pattern, right? Target 1 is the 20 MA. And this is when we talked last time, right? We call it under 350, I think it was, for a target of 335, 330. We hit it yesterday, right? So what do we do from here? If Facebook is broken, we should be rallying over to the 346 and probably get another entry. So now we will be in a downtrend. That's what I'll be looking to do. Like 346, 347, we start shorting again and we go 330 all the way to 280 right here, right? That's why my weekly chart is telling me. So we come right here and we start looking for how to trade. So couple things we can do here, right? When do I get long? When do I get long? Let's assume I'm gonna get long. So I come back to my weekly chart, right? So we have to plan, we have to put the scenarios, right? Scenarios, because I don't have a bias right here. I'm just doing my chart. Like here is clear. We bearish. We far from the 20 MA, we're everything, right? In here, well, the entry was yesterday, basically, right? Right at the two standard deviations, extended, sort of a point of control. You can argue with that. Very aggressive, could have been a hold, could have been a long, right? But from here, what do? We can work with this hammer, right? So what I'm thinking is we go 350, right? Once we start going over 350, which is right over here, we can probably test 380. That's assuming that Facebook comes back and, into earnings and, all the chat, all the things that they're discussing or whatever, all the news, whatever that happens. So we can trade that one 350. We needed to show us some strength first. So 350 to 380, that'll be a weekly buy, right? The 350, once we start failing 350, if you come here and you're thinking we're going to come to 350, what we'd be doing is a lower high. Clear. This will be a lower high. So once we start failing versus 350, I'm willing to take the short too. So 350 for 330 again, 330, 310. Okay. So I'm basically giving you guys my playbook for this Facebook trade, right? There's a couple things we should take into account. One of them is this level right here, 330.40, which is a daily point of control. That's a good reference level, right? And I think we have a 344.50 as a monthly point of control. So if I come right here and I do here, that was not going to show me some of my other charts. So trust me on that one. 345 is the monthly point of control. So that's the game plan for Facebook. We're looking for big trades in Facebook. And basically we have two setups, right? We have the weekly possible buy setup that we can do, or we wait for this to retest the break point and just continue lower. And we take the short from 355 to 315, 310. This is where the volume is, guys. So anything right here. The easier thing to do will be see it tomorrow. If there's bad news tomorrow, we just take it 322 to 310. Pretty simple, but that's a one-day play. That's not much that I have to plan on that. We just see it tomorrow, and that's what we do. Okay, so Facebook also on a momentum watch. Then we go to Google. And for Google, let's see, what do we have here? We have a tradable range. We can call it a tradable range. It's very strong stock, still there, holding. You see, compared to the Qs, we're still holding. Look at the volume right here. So we tried to break yesterday, came back. So we're right here. So this one can be traded from 2,700 all the way to 29. So that's the range for Google, 2,710 to 2,100. 2743 will be the 50 MA that we can use as a good entry point if you're willing to take this one as a momentum trade. So it could be a momentum trade 2750 for 28 intraday, right? Quick scalp, you can do it. And if we get lucky, we hit 2,900, right? So this one's good. Google, tradable range. Let's watch, let's check Microsoft, what that one's doing. And this one's holding pretty good too. So we have the volume like right here. That was the distribution most likely, but they are supporting this one. So this is the place where we broke before making a new high. We have the point of control right here, tested, hold, and we've been going for, what is it, like 6 days now, right? So we have a good close. Yesterday was probably just a shakeout right here. So what I want to see is like, if you can probably trade this one. It's not going to be a change from the last call we have, because I think we have the 290 for 306 range. So yeah, just adjust it a little bit, make sure we're over that point of control, that moving average. So we can do 291.22. So 291 for 299, 303. Right here, 299 and 303, 304. Okay, so that one could be Microsoft, good market call. This one market, let me write it down because I wanna put it as a market call. Like if the market's strong and you start going, probably wanna go one of the stronger ones. Could be the Microsoft, or the what was it? The Google, Netflix, the other one. So this one I want to bring to your attention because, it's like, it looks like there's so much going on at times. But what I want to bring today, probably like since I've been like gone for a good week, is like the patterns are the same. We just need to notice what is the structure that we're trading. So I just show you right here. Like if you share this chart with anybody that knows technical analysis up to some extent, he's going to tell you like, is this a place to buy? And he was going to say, no, we kind of extend that. Usually we pull back into the 20 MA. So let's wait for the pullback to the 20 MA and we reassess the situation. Once you start falling, you start looking for the second support into the other Bollinger Band or a 50 MA or some volume profile, right? So what I'm going to show you is like Netflix. So what were we doing with Netflix, right? Netflix, we have it as a breakout play. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I think we have it. Let me just double check the names of the numbers that we have. We have it up between 545 and 615. That was the range, the tradable range, right? 545 is right here, right? That was the prior high. We make this move, another tradable range into 545 is around here. So this is like 550 into 615. This is the high. So we waited. Look at this. You don't buy it right here unless you buy it for the next 20 minutes, which is totally different. That's a scalping intraday. So you do it 20 minutes, right? But if you want to hold it overnight, why would you be buying Netflix right here at 620 when you couldn't pull the trigger at 520, right at point of control? Risk reward, right? You're falling off the 10th floor instead of falling from the sidewalk. So I always take the sidewalk. I don't buy on the 10th floor. So now it's giving us the perfect place to start probably watching. You don't need to buy it right here, right? But this is the formation that we like to see. So once you start coming into the prior high, and then you see volume coming in, because here's the volume, guys. It's clearly telling us, hey, we're buying this thing. We're buying this thing. We're buying this thing. So this must be in everybody's hot list for the last 4 days, right? Highs, higher than average volume. All you have to do is take it every time that it breaks to new highs, till at least the day that it breaks out, right? So today was a day. So we have a target, right? So we cleared the 615. So now we got to move on. It's a second day play for tomorrow. It's a momentum play. It's a tradable momentum. We're going to be looking at the 615. So this lower this green bar should hold. That's a 615. 620 on any pullback, the pullbacks to 620 are going to be a buyer too, or 640 just clear momentum play, right? So I want to check that one. My targets are 700 and 720s. Those are my first targets, 700 and 720. So another trade that we can do on a good market tape is going to be Netflix. So Netflix is going to be a Momo and keep it like right there because likely it's going to give us a trade tomorrow. So that one is hot. AMD. Let's look at AMD. So what's going on with AMD? AMD, I call it a range, is a tight range. And the main thing we got to be watching here is this green line right here, the 99. That's my break point, right? Why am I calling this? There's a couple of things that I think I express or I post a chart that I'm not loving about AMD. Basically, the big move up. We know this was like, I don't know what happened, but look at the volume. That's a confirmation. So whenever you have this type of volume for type of move from 84 to 122, which is 40 points. So that's like a 50% move in, I think it was like a week that we have it. We have the same similar entry to what we have on Netflix that I just showed you, right? Prior high, and you have this accumulation near the high with higher than average volume. So that's when we got to get in. I think we wrote it not enough, but we did a couple good trades in here. Now, once you start getting into the overbought condition or whatever, you got to wait for how we're going to treat the first pullback. The first pullback is going to stall at the 20 MA, right? You can try and buy here, but you're still far from the 20 MA. So most likely it's going to correct through time. So we did correct through time, not as much as price. So this was looking really good. Now, what you want to see is you want to see buyers actually stepping up and buying this thing up. Look at the volume. Volume's clearly dropping, right? So now what we sit in is like, okay, now we got to see how we're going to treat the green line, which is the goal line, right? Let's see if we test it. We did test it right here. We try to bounce. So this is a tradable range. You can call it as a tradable range. So we got 99 to 109. That's a 10-point range. And I think we still are in that same range. So that's the level that I want to keep for that AMD trade. So if you really want to trade, you really like to trade this one, you can do 100 to 108. That's 10% move, not bad at all. However, we start breaking 99, we're going all the way here to 90. So that's another 10%. We're right in the middle. Be sure that you don't chase in here or you don't chase to the way down. So 99 is your break point, 10% to the upside, 10% to the downside. Okay. What else do we have here that I want to see? 102.50. It's no, the point of control is way too far. And we have the alligator mouth right here. So we don't really have big volume at the 90. It's good, it's decent, but the big volume is at 81. So I won't be surprised. Like if the market gets really nasty, this one can go 100 to 90 and 88. Okay. Now, when do I get really bullish? Once we start getting into probably a trigger in a weekly chart. Look at the weekly chart, how bad it looks. I mean, it's not clean. It's not clear, right? It looked like it was going to be right here. Didn't. So what we want is this type of charts, right? Clean charts that we can read and we can see the volume coming up. So this one is like, yeah, you can trade that range if you want, but not really my A play. So let's go to Nvidia. For Nvidia, what we have is a I'm not loving the way this one's looking. This is a weekly. So the weekly, we may argue that we have the buy setup right here. Look what happens, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 standard deviations, come back into the 20 MA, immediately got bought. So that's pretty good. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see like 2, 3 weeks, but yeah, I mean, this is very strong. When you see it like triggering immediately, like the next week, that's pretty good. So you make a new high, significant new high. Everybody can see that it's significant, right? 148 all the way to 200. Now, what you have is a pullback. This stock is so strong, we didn't even have to test the 20 MA, right? And this is supported just by the big green bar. So you can probably trade it around here. If you're like me, you probably wait till later here, right? Why? Because location wasn't great. So yeah, you're lucky enough that you were looking at that day, that particular day, that day for the reg dog reversal, you can take it, right? Otherwise, you go over here. Now we go 2 standard deviations right here. Again, the pullback with the market. This is where we are. So what am I doing with Nvidia? I'm thinking buy, weekly buy. So that's going to be over 210. What I want to see it is taking this prior high, right? This should have held here, broke. This should have hold. If we don't, we start trading this range. So the range is going to be 180 to 210. So we got plenty of plays for Nvidia. So let's call them, right? So we have the buy setup on the weekly. So let's wait for the end of the week and we see if we're going over 210. If we go over 210 over this hammer with volume, we can probably take 210 to 220. 210 to 20, and if we get lucky, we make all-time highs, right? That's the name of the game. Now, if we don't get lucky, and basically we failed versus 210, we're going to start trading the 210 by 180 range. You can see it here, right? I think I made it one last chart for you guys. Yeah, right here. This is what I'm talking about, right? Because this is important. I think Nvidia can help or break the market. So this is where we are. We see the range right here between 210 and 180. That's 30 points. We can absolutely trade that one. That's 15% range. So it's a tradable range. Or if by the end of the week, we start going over 210, we can probably take it to 20, to 30. And just that will be the confirmation that we will resume probably a rally and some strength in the market. So watch Nvidia closely. Okay, that one's one to watch. So we got the levels right there for Nvidia. Now let's do, we have MU usually on the, but this one is a no call. If you really want me to make a call, I'm going to do the same call as last time, which is 69 by 75. So we break that level, 69, 68.80 to be exact. You can probably trade it short. Just trade it as momentum. Why am I not too happy to be doing that? Look at where we're shorting. Will we be shorting, right? That one was $100 and now we want to trade it. I shorted at 66. Look at the monthly chart. So we are actually coming into this base, right? 16 highs, we make a base, breakout, and now we're pulling into the base. Actually, now that I just look at that, I think we should be looking to go long if we don't break the 65s. So yeah, guys, this is a monthly retest MU, monthly retest of support, all support. Let's watch this one, Kyle, because we may get a good entry, like for pennies, like 65 with a stop of a couple points, and we see if we can take it 75, 80, who knows, right? With a good market. So yeah, MU. Then let's do payments, and we go to PayPal. So for PayPal, I think it's a range in a weekly. I'll go back to the weekly right here, and this is what's going on. Like, this is a big picture for PayPal. I think we can make a line around here, the 250 level, because we got all of this here, all of this volume right here, and these two, right? This is a pivot. This is what I call a pivot, right? So if we come and check, it's exactly 252. That's where we stopped yesterday, right? The two candles right here, 252. Technical analysis, perfect. And this is also the 50 MA on a weekly. What's the 50 MA on a weekly? The 100 on daily, Kyle? Because you just said it. I don't even know what it does. So
the 20 weekly is the 100 daily.
Oh, the 20 weekly is 100 daily. So this is the 100 daily. So we can probably go from the 50, which is 250, to 280. Not bad. So let's call PayPal a range on a weekly from 250 to 275. Just play it as a range, right? So we come right here and we try to get anything that we can see, any setups. Like if you come to the daily, and that's why I'm deferring to the weekly, I don't see anything on the weekly. I'm sorry, I don't see anything on the daily. It's actually downtrending so far, but it's a lot of green and red, so it's not my favorite. But if I see anything, like this one starts getting clean, like sort of here, look what it did last time. So that's the type of plays that we can ride, right? So let's keep that one. Let's keep an eye on that one on PayPal for range on a weekly chart to 50 to 75. 263 is the 200-day moving average. So keep an eye over there too. And the other one that we like as far as payment is a square. And this one is also, like if you see here, the daily, at least for me, is not too clean. So I don't like confusing charts because they confuse me basically. So I like to come into my weekly, and probably on the weekly, I can see 224 as a level. You can see here, we tested the 200 MA, 50 MA. We have this level right here too. So that's like 226, 224. So we can call 225 for 224, 225 by 245. So basically we're going 50 MA to 20 MA. Simple, 20 points, that could give us 8% move. And if we get it on a day, we can probably take it. Okay, so that's 8% move inside a range on SQ on a day that we are bullish. I have BABA too. I know we've been watching this one. No call on that one. Absolutely no call. It's just like, I think we talk about this one. It's horrible. Look at that. The chart is like small little ants in my screen, so I don't like it. That's BABA. I think JD was setting up a little better. So for JD, we have 68 by 75, but not doing much, to be honest, unless, and here's another thing. I'm gonna give you guys the other thing that we do at Opinicus. Is like, for this type of trades, when there's nothing major in the chart, what I mean is you should be watching Netflix tomorrow, right? But JD, like, yeah, it can go tomorrow. Tomorrow can be the day that it goes from 75 to 100. We don't know that, right? So the only reason why it's going to be doing that is going to be a catalyst. So if we don't have a catalyst, I don't even bother with that one. The catalyst could be a news, an announcement, government, whatever, but it has to be reflected on the price. So at 935 or at 932, I don't care how many years of experience you have trading, it's going to be really hard for you to assess if that's going to be the day that JD is going to move 10% up, unless you have major news or major volume. So keep that in mind, because that's going to help you be with the better trades a lot of the time. So that's what we do. A lot of research, a lot of preparation prior to the market opening the night before, so you know what are the better charts. It doesn't mean that you can trade tomorrow Walmart for 50 cents, because likely if that's an ATR, is going to give it to you, right? But the chances that you're going to be in one of the big movers are going to be like so diminished just because of that. So JD, we know 68 to 75, but I need a catalyst for that one. Same with Baidu. Yeah, with Baidu, I want to see it over 175, and now we're talking about the monthly chart. So this is a big run into 354, and then you crash it. Look where the volume is. We have massive volume at 175 level. So that's where I have my alert. I should have an alert prior to that, like at the 170, so that I can alert the team when we all take that trade if it starts popping. But yeah, let's leave it alone. Keep an alert at 170. And if we start seeing 170, we can probably trade 170 to 190 in Baidu. Okay, so let me write that down, because I don't have my thing right here. So for Baidu, probably 170 for 180. Did I say 180? No, 189, 170 to 189, right? And that's when you start getting like, keep an alert, keep that, because we need to keep these in the notes. Like 175 is a monthly, right? So let's check at the monthly, because once we start getting into that one, that could get really interesting. So that's the Baidu. Nothing to love unless we get the news. We can get news anytime, so that's it. So let's go talk Futu, F-U-T-U, and that's I have it as a momentum watch. I'm pretty sure if I ask you guys what do you think is the momentum, I get the right answer, or at least the answer that I want to see. Probably a short on the 30 on the 81.10. With a bad market, we go 81 for 70. These are 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's one we can do under 81. And target, yeah, target could be like 75, 72, and 70. Okay, so Futu is a short, momentum short. Can it go the other way? Absolutely. You know how to play that one. Once we go over 80, you can start trading 80 and you scalp it for 80 to 84. Actually, it's bigger than that. Oh, actually, it's 90. For 90 to 94. So that'll be an inside, like intraday play that we can totally all do. Okay, should not be a problem with that one. So that's where are we? We are at Futu. I'm gonna do Lee. We're getting into the cars. For Lee, I want to do a monthly buy on this one if it triggers. So this is the pattern I'm looking. We have the move up, pull back, move up. Now we're pulling back. We're still holding this monthly thing. So this is sort of a gift setup. So we need to start seeing volume coming in. And probably the trade is going to be 28.80 to 30.80. So that's a 10% move. Okay. So 28.50 for 30.40. That's number one. And surprisingly, let's do Tesla now. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the vaccines in a minute. So this is another one that, of course, we all should be watching, right? And I think I prepared one for this. No, I didn't. I didn't have because this one we've been talking for too long about this one. So pretty much same pattern that we have for Netflix. Green right here, near all-time highs. No, not near all-time highs, near recent highs, right? Significant, like I think it's the last 6 months. So we're making 6 months highs. So we have the 700 right here that we discussed. We say monthly 700, point of control is 711. So over 711, you should be long this name. And the target is being 900. I think that's what we call 900 and 1,000. So we should be getting there. So now let's look at how we're setting up, right? This is the bigger picture, right? So we just trade in this big range right here. So this is a tradable range. This is the swing entry, second swing entry, and now we're going for 890 something. So how do we trade it here, right? It's a tight range. We can call it as a tight range, and we can trade 760, which is here, the green bar. Now, forget about the monthly, forget about the weekly that I just showed you. Just focus on this one. We're doing this, right? So 760, see how important it was, that level? It took us like almost 2 weeks to break it. Finally, on this particular day, we closed, we finally went up. However, we've been testing that 760, it's holding, which is good. So what I want to see is although you can play 760 to 810 as a range, so that's a range, I want to see the momentum trade. That's the one I have. That's the one I want. So what I want for Tesla, make note of the range 760 to, I'm sorry, 760 to 807. That's a range. You can trade it, right? What I really want is I want 810, which is the breakout play, right? And if it works, that day should take us to 860 and 920. Okay, target 1, target 2, target 3 will be 1,000 just because it's 1,000. So that's the call for Tesla. We say NEO 2. NEO is a 1, 2, 3 to the downside. Momentum play, we can trade it. That's probably can give us like 2-3 points to I'm sorry, 8% down, right? Because target 1 should be 31, target 2 will be 30, 70. So that's almost 3 points. That's a 10% move for NEO. So let's watch NEO as a 1, 2, 3 momentum to the downside, right? If we hear news or some of the catalysts overnight, we have a tradable range between 33 and 38. Okay, so what I just told you is I'll be looking at this, but this is like an intraday trade that I'm looking like. I'm just forgetting about the whole chart and just thinking that we're probably going to be bearish tomorrow. So once we take that short, I'll take the short right here pretty fast and I make my 10% move. That's it. But if I start looking at the whole chart, I have to check and make sure that I have an alert here at 34, 35 bucks. Once I start going over the red bar, I'm going to be trapping these shorts, and probably we're going to go 35 to 38. So that's another one that we can do, right? So we can trade it as a 1, 2, 3 to the downside as momentum, or we can trade it 35.20 for 38 as a range. So 2 trades for NEO: short, momentum, or range as a long, back to the point of control. Okay. So no bias, we just wake up and see what the market is going to give us and what side they want to play. I don't love any stock. Same with PEV for XPF. I'm sorry, XPF. I don't have the short as a for NEO. Why? Because today was too big and we closed over prior day's high. So that's not a 1, 2, 3 that I want to play. But this one is setting up better if we start doing the reversal. So for this one, we can probably trade it if we hold at 35. Now, look at the volume right here. Look at the pivot right here, right? So once we start going 36, we can go 38.60. A little bit less than NEO, but I think it's safer if you want to play that range. So 36.20 for 38.20, that's a 2%. I'll take it. Again, if I see volume, that's not going to be my go-to, but it's something that I want to check. FSR. We continue to watch the 1380 daily point of control right here, right? So let's look at the weekly. I don't like the chart. The only thing I like about this is look at how the momentum is shifting. So we make new lows. We try to make the low, of course, it's a higher low. So this is like momentum is drying to the downside. So we can probably get a decent scalp of 14.90 for $16 and 18. Okay, as a scalp, FSR. So over 14.90 for 16 and for $18, right? Do I want to do the buy support right here? I don't know. 1382 is a level to watch, but I'd rather see it. I'd rather see buyers stepping up and confirming this. This is what I want confirmation. Like, okay, we're done with the selling. Now we're buying this one. So FSR 1490 for 16 and 18. Okay, pretty simple trade right there too. We're gonna go workhorse. I know some of you guys still watch it. Not my favorite. I think, yeah, I'm gonna take this one out. If you want to short that thing, that should go to $5. So that's 7 to 5. That's a 50% drop. Not my type of place, but that's the call for workhorse. If you want Lucid, that was one that worked pretty good for us. Good volatility, good volume. You can see it right here. It was a capitulation trade right here, textbook capitulation, extended to the downside right here at support on the monthly chart. Not perfect, went a little bit too far, but that's the type of type of gap that you don't want to short, right? It's like, what were you doing here? You want to short it right when he lost like 50%. Now you have all the buyers right here confirming this is the second entry right here for the capitulation trade. Once you make the base, you go from here all the way to point of control. We try to break, negate it at 25. I think it was just too hot to run too much. So this is similar to what we're looking at FSR. I want to see how we react to this level right here. But ideally, I want to see 25. And the good thing about this one is that if we get it on a good day, we can hit 25, 25, 26, 28. Okay. So let's call it a tradable range on Lucid between 23, which is point of control, and 28. LCID 23 and 28. My God, I need water. That's 23 is point of control. Tradable range. Okay. Now let's do we go the same order that we did last time? Because we got BA.
Yeah, let's do BA.
Okay, BA. At 228, 235, but that's not the trade I want. Let's see if the weekly is setting something up. Interesting. Because this could be like a 1-2, momentum play. This could be a momentum play. 231 to 250. Now it's gonna be 235. I think it's better 235 to 250 on a weekly BA. Because I know at least I don't like trading this one intraday. So I usually just swing it. So not my favorite to trade intraday. BA 235 to 250. Uber, we have it here. Another transportation, different type of transportation. Look at the pullback on a monthly. To my left, right here, tested the MA, tested support. Yeah, sort of. Didn't get to here. 38.34. Look, 38.34, 38.34, 38.34. That's what we touch. 38.34. Where are we? We have this level right here, 51. So 49. This one is another one that I don't really like to trade that much intraday, but I can see like if someone want to take 47 to 49, right? And then if it's a good day, we can go 52, and then we probably go 57. But I cannot call it right here because technically over 52 is 57. So that's a 10% move. So that one I can do 52 over 52 by 57. I don't think it's going to trigger. Just put it there. So again, like this is a perfect case, guys. If you see it like on news and something and we see a gap in it to 50, just remind us that the team, that 52 to 57 is the other one. So if we get a good entry, why not, right? We can probably get an entry with 10 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents stop. So I'll probably take that trade, but it's not something that I'm going to be looking to do tomorrow. Like, oh, I'm not going to sleep because tomorrow I'm going to trade over. That's not going to happen, right? CCL. So let's check CCL. So this one I went over 28. Big accumulation right here. Try to break. Why it didn't break, I don't know. But I can see volume right here at 28. So I know this is an area that I probably should be taking profits right here, right into 28. So where does this one goes? Like really nice. I wanna be long this one over 30 for sure. 25. I'm sorry. What am I talking about? What is this level? No, 31. Yeah, 31. So 28, 30. 28 and 30 is going to give me an entry on a daily chart on a breakout play, probably 27. Let's put it right here. Remember, guys, I have no idea, and I think Kyle's his crystal ball is also broken. So all we need to do is see if we get a setup like a 1, 2, 3 in here. Once we go over 28, we can take it 32. And now we defer to the monthly chart and we can probably target a 41 as a swing trade. So this one could be good to look. Why? Look at 30 right here. Look at where they accumulated last year during pandemic, the cruise lines and everything, 14. These guys are setting like pretty much on 100% return right there. So now let's see where they take it, right? 30, 30, 30. 35, 40, that's going to be probably target, right? So let's look at this one over 28 for 40, target 2, big target, CCL, over 28 for 40, and that's a swing, right? That's a swing trade. Intraday, we can trade at 28, 30, but we got to keep in mind that that's workhorse we already did, FSR we already did, Occidental Petroleum, let's move into the oils. Impressive move. I'm not sure we have visited this name in a while, but the only reason I'm putting, look at 33.50 right there. And look at the monthly chart. So it's looking great. And everybody's talking about oil. I think oil is at, what is it? 78, 80. So I don't know if it's going to continue going higher, but let's keep an eye on this one, 33.50. For 40, doesn't look like much, but 33.50 for 40, that's 7 points. That's a 20% move that we can get on Occidental Petroleum. So let's keep an eye on that one. This is not an entry. We're far. I want to see an entry, right? I want to see a setup. Now we come right here. What I want to see is some sort of, this is a range, guys, basically 22 to 32. I want 33.50 for 40. Okay. That's Occidental. Let's look at Roku, because I got some special requests. So let's see Roku. What's Roku doing right here, guys? It's a big range. So we got 484 and 290, 292. This is 340. So I want to make sure we're long over 340 for sure. So that's the weekly. Let's see the daily. Look at the volume on the down moves. We just made a new low. Look at the momentum. Momentum is slowing down to the downside. So we've been like flagging. Can we go? Yeah, we can. Absolutely. Anything can happen. So under 293, you can probably scalp it for 272. That's a 20 point. 272 is also this 20 moving average on the monthly chart. And this is where we stopped last time. So that's the lowest part of the bigger range. So we are at support right there. Can we break it? Yes. Do we have enough for a good trade? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I want to be probably looking at this one. If we start getting over 320, 340, 360, and probably take it for 440. So I'm more inclined to be buying the support level on Roku. Although it could be a 1, 2, 3 on a daily chart, right? So it could be a momentum for tomorrow, but I wanna trade the monthly chart. So it's gonna be a tradable range for sure. Okay, so that's a Roku, and that was out. How's timing, Kyle? We still have a half an hour.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, good. Because I got my list of things that I know I gotta cover. So let's do the couple of DraftKings and Penn National Gaming. So DraftKings weekly, nothing. I don't see much. Like we can trade this as a range. Let me see if we got a level on the daily. Yeah, the level on the daily is the point of control, but I want it over right here, over 52. So let's try 52 to 59, 52 to 50, 52 to 60 on D-King. Okay. That's a tradable range, and that's pretty much all I want to do. Can you short it right here? Yes, you can short it. Under 47, your target is 45. So less than 2 points, less than 2% for this type of thing that we're doing today doesn't make any sense. I need at least 10, 15% move. So let's look at Penn National, unless I see a real setup that we can trade tomorrow, right? So this is interesting. We came back all the way to the support level at the 61 on a monthly chart. You see, we trigger the monthly buy, but now the probably market is the one taking it. So this one won't go till we get over this big volume level right here. So we need 80. 80 can be a good trade for Penn. 80 for 86, sort of a scalp. And then over 86, over 90, we take it for 100. So that, let me see, let me just double check the daily chart. Yeah. So if we go over 80, we'll be over these two red bars, negating the two red bars, confirming the green bar right here over the point of control. Target one pretty simple right here. 82 for intraday. And probably this high right here, 86, that's the one we call. So 80 for 86, and then over 86, we hit 90, which is a 200. And then once we go over 90, we go over 100. I like this pen. Yep, I like it. I'll put on alert right here. So that's pen. Casinos, I don't know what they're doing now. So casinos, we heard the news, and it was basically China, I think, the ones in Macau, which is LVS and Win. So this is trading sideways, sort of bearish setup on a monthly chart, on a daily chart too, right at point of control. However, this can be traded as support resistance play. So any move over 38 can be played to 41 for a 10% move. So LVS reversal play, reversal. Please make a note, big note, that is a reversal. So we need a catalyst, either volume or some sort of news. 38 for 41.23, and then if it's big catalyst, we go 45. That's what I want to do with Win, and let's with LVS and with Win, pretty much same trade, 90, 94, 100, but these are two reversal trades, right? So Win, 90, 92, 100. Not going into much detail because I don't think those are going to work. We have GME that we have that 225 breakout that I was looking, never came. So let's see where we stand here. Let's for the whole year now, 177 is becoming a level, and that's exactly where we are. So look at the move they put in 2-3 days, and now since pretty much 2 months ago, July, August 24th, all we've been doing is just trading this range. So this actual candle is the whole range. Very simple. 166, we touched it today, we touched it 3 days ago. 166 for 220. So GME, 166 to 220 range. Over 231, we start hitting the monthly chart. And we should be testing probably 240, 260, not too big. So we need a good entry, but I want to keep eye on GME just because it's slowing down. Let's see if some buyers step in. I don't want to be, I'm not going to be a buyer at the bottom. That I can tell you, guys, like right now, guys, I'll probably wait for some major formation right there at support, like a shakeout, like a bullish engulfing pattern, a hammer, big volume, a catalyst via news, or we can wait until 186, the 50-day MA starts gaining momentum over 186, 200, 223. That's when I want to take it, but that's based on your each other's, I mean, everybody's playbooks, right? Clover, I know we used to be looking at this one. I think it's over. Yeah, till they start playing with it again. This is one of those days that you know, gotta clear it up. I know BBIG was asked by some member last time, so it was a momentum, clearly didn't work. So put an alert if you're still following that one for $4 and trade $4 to 748. Let's get rid of those. Airbnb. For Airbnb, we're still waiting, or at least I am, for that break of the 180. So what I'm looking is that there's a lot of accumulation right here, 180, right? So we know we have the 150 level that worked, still holding. You see here, the green bar is holding 148. That was the first breakout. So what I'm looking is like all these accumulation to finally come to a next leg up. Now we're in a squeeze. So this usually lasts for 8 days, 8, 10. Some of them start firing after 10 days. So we can see it like next week, probably. Keep an alert, 180, right? On a weekly chart, I don't have a pattern. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this one as a daily breakout play over 180 for 190. So Airbnb, daily breakout play over 180 for 190. And this one's a tough trade too. Like, I don't want you guys, or I recommend you guys don't mess up too much with this one. As far as trading intraday, trying to get to cube with this one. This is one of my favorite trades that we took some partials this year. So Upstart. So what do we see here? Let's see if it's going to give us an entry finally. So we have the pullback right here into the green line. You see the pattern? I think when was the last time? 9/11 that we met. So we were right here. 9/10, 9/11. So we make the new move up and we finally have a a pullback into the 20 MA. Didn't go to the 2 standard deviations, so was not that extended. So it was not a short, right? So let's see how we manage this. So where do we get, how do we trade this? Let's see if we get, yeah, probably a weekly trade. Yeah, weekly buy over 304. So let's keep an eye on how we start trading once we go over 304. The level here is 290, 275, 295. This should hold. Okay, so I'm gonna trade it. I'm gonna post it as UPST. Daily breakout play retest. Watch. Entry could be 305 or 315. Over 305 on a daily, over 315, I think is a weekly. Okay, and we see if they're still liking this stock. UPST, Moderna. Oh my God, what happened to Moderna? Wow. There's some news last 4 days, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's see what happens. What's the chart telling us? The chart's telling that, well, you don't like this. We should never like this. This is something we should never like. Like this is a topping tail, they call it, right? So they trap a lot of people right here. Then we have the retest of the breakout. This is what I'm trying to do with the Upstart, UPST, right? The pullback, and then try to get it for another leg. So supposedly, I mean, should be making a new high. We didn't. So we put an alert right there for the chart, right? Like watch it because we failed to make a significant new high, or actually a new high. So then we wait, we try to break, we fail again. Once you start breaking this one, the pattern, the chart is changing. Now we have a lower high, and this is your entry if you want to short it, 409. If you have the enough space. In this case, it was 409 to 314. We trigger right, that one right there. Hit it right there to target. So what do we do from here? A monthly buy, but I don't like the 2 tails, to be honest. So Best case scenario, I'll be probably looking to buy it over 380 versus this level, 400 for a quick scalp into 440, but that's a 10% move, to be honest. So would I short this one? Once we lose 300, yeah, we can probably see 250. So that's actually better to the downside, like for 20% move to the downside. So if this one starts seeing some selling, probably tomorrow, 325, 304, yeah, actually that's could be a broken stock. And we can take it for 233. So let's watch Moderna as a short. Right, and the trigger will be under 324. Of course, if you short 324, your target one is going to be the low, right? The 304. Once we break 300, then we can start thinking about probably hitting the close of the gap is 260. And then if we get lucky, we go 234. So interesting chart just because of the, I don't know, something's up with that. So that's Moderna. The Pfizer, I don't know if we're trading Pfizer. Look at the same move in Moderna that we have. We have the topping tail with a engulfing pattern on the next one. Well, it's not engulfing because we didn't go over 51. So it's like a red bar. So 42, not as clean as the Moderna, but this one can get interesting if we go over 44. So 44 for 48 on Pfizer, 44 for 46. And versus 40. So let's watch the 40 and we see support resistance play at 40, point of control. MRK, let's see, MRK. Merck. So what's the news? Well, I mean, if it goes over 85, we just trade it as a gap, continuation gap, over 85 for 92. So MRK, thank you for that. Over 95, I'm sorry, over 85 for 92, target one. That's a catalyst, absolutely clear right here. So I mean, the whole chart is not looking like much. Okay, that's the Merck, Airbnb, Upsteer, Myrna, Disney for COVID, which is Moderna, got slammed. Oh, okay, tablet, gotcha. Thank you, Rocky. So Disney continues. I think it's the same chart. This hasn't done anything. 177 is point of control. We can all see it. We tested the 170. I think the call for Disney, but that's not my favorite thing. Why? Because the market's been so weak that I'm not looking for buying support resistance, right? But we say 166 to 170. And then we say there's a play over 169 for 175. So that one worked actually last week, but you have to be buying like pretty much on a red day. So I don't recommend that one, especially not with the market going down. No, with a weak market. So just let this one do its thing, and we will know when we start going over 180. Probably we get a 180 and we try 190, 200. Disney is in a, yeah, that's a range. That's a range, weekly range. Let's call it a weekly range. Disney weekly range. Just watch it. No need to get involved in that one unless we get some news on anything about that. So that's a Disney. Roku we did already. Beyond, what's up with Beyond? I'm buying hamburgers every day, so it's not helping. I think you're gonna have to buy more hamburgers, like I did with Netflix. Remember, guys, when I was buying my DVDs and my CDs? That's on me. All-time highs. I need to buy more hamburgers now. So yeah, this is good. Under 100. Target is 80, guys. Target is 80 on this one. This could be a momentum play, guys. 99.50. Yep. Beyond. Target 190. Target 285. So beyond, under 100, or what did I say? 85, 95, sorry, for 95, target 1. I'm using just two standard deviations, but if it gets really bad and it starts really selling off and we have the massive day, we can go 85 all the way to 85. I'm getting the 85 from here, right? From the monthly chart. So that's the 85 target that I'm getting. I like that one. It's a Momo trade for tomorrow. Let me put my highlighter on that one. Could be one. Okay. I hope they don't gap it up. But yeah, beyond looking good. Zoom. That was another short that we have. Under 272, under 240 for 200. Wow. So we only have the 272. I thought, okay, we still got the same call. 272 to 240. That's the range we're looking. So here's the 290. Here's the 279. Here's the 275. Triggers on, what was that, Friday? On Friday, same pattern, guys. I don't trade anything different. This is a breakdown play. I know you guys like it. At least Hassan love it when I do this. Right? So this is Zoom. Gap up, gap down. Right? The pullback. Here's the entry. There you go. Right? So for Zoom, here's a breakdown play. You can trade it, and then they give you another entry. Like you missed it, here you go. Here you go. Short again. So now we're looking for a short, right? On the 253, that can be a short. Momentum short. You see what's the low here? It's 230. So 253, Zoom on the 253 for 230. And we had it for last week, we had it 240. Or where's my notes? Where's my notes? For 240, for 200. So this can probably go. This can probably go. Okay, let's keep it 253, 240, 230. And then 200 is where the big volume is right here. Here. On a monthly chart, that's where we broke 200. How bad is this? Oh, Kyle, we were trading this one at 600. My God. And it was a short. Absolutely. Snap. That's a range. That's a range. We can all see it. So it's 75. Once we start getting over 75.94, probably this is the one that is going to take over the world after Facebook gets shows down. This one on Twitter, right? So it's 76 for 80 and 84. Snap. Range. Let's call it 75 by 85 with a quick stop at 80, target 1 for those that traded intraday. So that's Snap. Now that we're doing Snap, let's do the Twitter. Hun, what is Hun? Oh, watch it. Twitter is horrible. Twitter is so bad for trading. So 63 for 68. If we get lucky, 63 for 68. If we get some catalyst, I just want to keep an eye on this one. 63 for 40, so 68, Twitter. Another one that we haven't watched in a while. I don't know if it's over. Pins. Yeah, that's over. Yeah. No fun trading that one. What is Hun? Huntsman. 3 million, 122 in play, like the monthly, like the pullback at 27. Wow, guys. Like the pullback at 27. So what do we have here? We have a gap up a couple days ago. So this is a bullish gap, right? Are we breaking? Could give us another 10%, 32. Yeah, once we take the highs, 32, 35, 32, 42. for 36. So yeah, it's a good continuation chart. Good continuation chart, hun. Continuation. Momentum trade over 32, 32 for 35. That's a 10%. So that's on the threshold. We can trade that one. Today's 10.5. Okay. What else we have? We have Take Two, Sonus, Pins, Twitter, Doku. Yeah, I got those. We got 2 minutes. Doku. Doku, look at the monthly. I like the monthly. Right there, we held 250. Right there, 248. So 250, 250 for 280. Doku. See, I talk too much. Palantir. Palantir. My God. Is there after hour news in this one? Yeah. 26. So 26.30. So that tells us a lot. 26.30, we're going to be gapping right here. 26.30, so we can go 26.30 to 29.30. Palantir as a gap. 29.30. And then this is when it gets really good. Over 30, we want it for 40. I think it was over 30 for 39. And that's a swing trade that we've been waiting for. That's Palantir. Let's see, T2, TT, TTWO. Take two. I like the monthly. I like the monthly a lot. Looks like a monthly buy. We can probably get it 164. This could work as a momentum tomorrow. 163 for 170. So that's a TTWO 163. Second day play for 170 target. Sonus. No, the guy was talking to Kramer like Kramer like last week. It was getting crushed. Sonus 31. I don't like the chart. I don't get the chart. 30 at 30. We watch what happens at 30, which is the point where we broke. But unless I'm missing something, I don't see much. Sono, Affirm. This is one that I like too. So we got the gap up, pullback, gap up, pullback, gap. Now we make new highs and now we're testing. I want it over 120. I think we tried this one a couple of times. 120, 133. 120, 133, that's a range. So AFRM 120, 133. Below that, I don't want to mess with that one, right? I probably want to get it at 90 bucks again. So 100 to 90 could be a range, but I don't want to trade it as a range. Hood, that's Robin Hood. And I keep waiting for the 48 for 55 that we want. Looking good, the pullback. But I don't want to jump the gun on this one. I want the setup. I want 45, 40, 48, or at least 46, over 46, over 48 for 55. Hood, over 46, over 48 for 55. And I'm almost done, guys. What else do you have? What am I missing? Dash. Dash on a daily. You like trading this one? I know, Kyle. Look at the range. This range is kind of good, I like it. He held right here, so we got a range between 197 to 226 dash. We go to daily. 209 to 220. So that's a better trade. 209 to 220 intraday trade. That could work. Banks. Banks. This is a breakout play. So we go 44. Throw some FIPS in here and get your targets, but I think it's gonna be probably 10% up. at least. So 48 and 52. Okay, for Bank of America, that's a breakout play. And I think all of the gaps, all of the banks are doing pretty much the same. So the same chart for JP Morgan, we can take it tomorrow, by the way, 170.40. That's a momentum trade if we have the volume. And this one is not a bank, it's an investment thing. So I think it's not as linked to probable interest rates going higher and anything like that. So this one's holding, it's just a range. So keep JP Morgan, Bank of America, and of course, I assume Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is not going. This one's so bad. But yeah, back in JP Morgan, my favorite. And guys, it's 7:03. We went for a solid solid list, I think. We have plenty of ideas.
That was great. Thank you.
And I hope we make a lot of money these coming 2 weeks, preparing for earnings season 2. So let's keep trading well and keep working as a team. Okay, guys. Good talking to you.
All right. Thanks, Mario.
Thank you,
Talk to you
guys.
in the morning.
See you tomorrow.